we found some great deals at the store. We got cabbage, cucumbers, and of course, strawberries. Let's bring you along on how we preserve these and save them on our shelves. I forgot to grab the picture of carrots. The store was pretty crazy, but it was 8 bags of carrots for $4. It was two bags of carrots for $1. I got 8 bags, which filled 7 jars. I kept 1 bag in the refrigerator to send for kids' lunches. So we're just going to wash and rinse these carrots, stick them in jars, add some filtered water, and we're going to put them in the canner. I got these guys going in first because they are going to go in the pressure canner and take some time. But this was a great deal. I couldn't pass it up. Our kids like these. And it's easy meals for either a side dish or in your soups. Then I got 3 bags of this sauerkraut. So I got this pink Himalayan salt. I'm going to salt these 2 big bowls. These 2 big bowls is just one of the bags. It's 5 pounds. But then later I do combine them once the juice starts to go out of it. Grandma here thought that the cucumbers were oddly soft. Like their skin, it didn't have any bumpies on it. And I was explaining that it only has bumpies when you freshly pick it out of the garden. Because she was washing the cucumbers, because we are also going to make some relish. And we'll be chopping those up shortly. But here I'm just going to work in all this salt. Like I said, this is the first bag. I split it into 2 bowls. And we're going to make some sauerkraut. Or not sauerkraut, cabbage. Coleslaw. And it is a vinegar solution. But of course you can always drain that vinegar solution off and add your mayonnaise and mustard, and then it's a nice creamy coleslaw. I'm looking for a texture, a crunchy texture. It doesn't matter how much salt I use. I'm going to rinse all this salt off. I'm going to put it in a strainer after it's been sitting for about 2 hours. And all this lovely liquid has come out of it. So it stays crunchy in the jar. And as you can see, just from me squeezing it and crunching it and moving it, it has already gone down almost by half. So I'm going to wait for it to go down some more, release some juices, and then I will pour off some of those juices and still let it sit for a little bit. And then I'll put it in the sink and rinse it. But when the grocery store has these deals, I can't pass them up, because as long as you know how to preserve them when they are that cheap, buy as many as you have time to preserve them. So I'm showing Grandma here how to cut the cucumbers and pull out the seeds. So she'll start that while I cut up these orange peppers. I got 5 orange peppers for $1. Again, can't beat that. it doesn't matter what color the peppers are in your relish, as long as they're in there. I've used green peppers, yellow peppers. This time, I'm using orange. And maybe I'll even use purple peppers if I find them on sale. So you just pull out the inner seeds, leave the meat, and then chop them up into as small of pieces as you want. They could be bigger pieces, smaller pieces. Your choice, because it's your relish. You get to choose the ingredients, and you get to choose what size it is. You don't have to settle for the store-bought. And then I just put them into the same bowl. And we will add some salt to this and start shrinking this down and taking out the moisture as well so it stays nice and crunchy. As you see, our sauerkraut, oh my goodness, I keep calling it sauerkraut. I don't know why. Coleslaw is sitting here in the front left-hand side here. I got my carrots back there in my pressure canner. And we are working on this relish. This was a fun Saturday. We did some math with Nathan. We did some numbers with Madison. And in between, I had to pause the video and help with that. But look at this big bowl of cucumbers. It was crazy. But we were running low on relish. And everybody loves this relish. And of course it's summertime. So it is brat time. And you gotta have your relish on your brats. I don't remember how many cucumbers this was. It was either 8 or 12. I don't remember. But again, I'm just going to put some salt. I like to use the pink Himalayan salt when I am salting the relish and also the coleslaw. I got it right this time. And mix it all in. I do like the Redmond real salt when I'm like cooking and adding salt on stuff. This bowl it's big bowl. It's just a little small. I can't get it all, so I am going to separate this into 2 bowls. But it will eventually, again, lose so much liquid that it will all fit back into one bowl. So you're just gonna scrunch it and mush it and mush it and scrunch it. You just want to get all the water, as much water as you possibly can, out of it, so it stays crunchy. And again, we're gonna rinse this off in the sink, so we'll get off all this salt so it doesn't taste salty or over salted. But I'm looking for kind of a crunchy, gritty kind of texture to it. And once I get that texture, then I know that it's going to start releasing all its juices. Our cucumber plants are planted. We do have quite a few of them. So I am looking forward to making more relish and also pickles come summer with our own. This is the second bag that I am mushing up here. Grandma is adding it's 2 cups vinegar, it's 2 cups sugar, it's 1 cup water, and I put a bit of celery and dill in that, and then I brought it to a low simmer on the stove, and we are ladling it in and debubbling it and making sure all of that cabbage is underneath the brine. And then we will have shelf-stable coleslaw. These turned out so pretty. They have like that purple cabbage in it, and they also have carrots. It had a pretty hue to it when it came out of the canner. And all these strawberries is gonna make lovely strawberry jam. So I kind of chunk up the strawberries. They do mush down into smaller pieces as you're cooking it. I'm going to use Pomona's pectin, so this is only 3 cups of sugar to the 6 cups of strawberries I have in here. And I'm going to let this sit and get all good and juicy. And Grandma is working on the second batch of coleslaw here, putting them into the jars and mushing it down. The relish, as you see, has now condensed back into one bowl. It's not in 2 bowls anymore, it's in 1 bowl. That's how much liquid comes out of it once you massage all the salt into it. I mean, this was a very busy and long Saturday in the kitchen, but the end result is amazing on the amount of food that you get to put up and save. Plus, for the carrots and the coleslaw and the strawberries, the pepper, and the cucumbers, I only spent $12. I spent $12 at the store for all this food because it was all on sale. We have some strawberry plants, but they really don't have strawberries on them, and when they kind of sort of decided to grow strawberries, my chickens got in the garden and ate them. We ended up having to put chicken wire on top of our fence, so now our fence is like 7 feet tall to keep the chickens out of the garden. They went in there and they wanted all the cabbage, and they ate all my cabbage. I only have 3 cabbage plants out of 12. I have 4 celery plants out of 12. I have 3 fennel plants. I think I planted 9. Oh, those chickens. And I have more containers to plant more plants in. I do actually end up taking them out of the recycles. Not on video, but then I put them with my plants because I'm like, oh yeah, right, I'm gonna plant with these. Sometimes your brain just moves 90 miles a minute and then you catch up later. But this makes some good coleslaw. You can either have the vinegary coleslaw taste, or if you want, like I said, you can drain out the juice, add some mayonnaise and some mustard, and have a creamy coleslaw. The relish is kind of sweet but kind of tangy. It's a good mix. And the strawberry jam, every time I see strawberries, I buy strawberries because everybody goes through it so fast. At first, my husband was like, I'm not gonna try it. I like my Smucker's strawberry preserves. I'm like, just try it. He's like, oh my God, this tastes 10 times better. So now he's addicted to this. And almost every night before bed, he makes himself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So that is a great compliment to me. Now, Grandma here is jarring up our relish. So I took the vinegar and sugar and water and celery, dill, turmeric, and onion powder. Put it in here, put it on the stove, brought it to a boil. Grandma canned that up. I got that into the canner. I then brought the strawberry over to the stove. I started cooking those. I added my Pomona's pectin to it. And now I am jarring these up. The relish is about to come out of the canner, because these are going to go in it shortly. And that is why, if you kind of look in the back, the lid is slightly off of the canner because it timer went off. And I put that off to the side for about 5-10 minutes while I filled the jars. Yep. And then when these jars were ready, I took those out and put these in. Today was a good, fast water bath canning type of day. The carrots were the ones that took the longest in the pressure canner. So that's why we got those on and ready to go first. But this strawberry jam is so good. And it is so red and vibrant. It is. It's sweet, it's savory, it's literally like eating a strawberry. Like right off the vine. And you don't get that overabundance sugar chemically taste that you get from the jams at the store or from other jams that you make, because I use the Pomona's pectins, so I get to use half the amount of sugar, which is great. Less sugar in kids is always great. And Grandma and the kids and Dad are all in the other room starting to eat dinner while I finish this. I just didn't want to stop until this was in the canner and it was going, and then I would sit down and I would eat dinner as well. But all in all, this was a very productive day. Again, I spent $12 and I'm gonna have all this food on my shelf. You can do it too. And there goes all these jars right into the water bath canner. Here is the day. Carrots, coleslaw. See, it turned out a very pretty hue. And this is the relish. This is so good. And the strawberry jam. Now think of the amount of money you would have spent at the grocery store. You can do it.